Okay, since my last video, they introduced some new grinding officers to the game, and I'm able to level mine up. So my meta grinding crew is different than what it was in the last video. I'm here in a 60 battleship system, showing you power. I guess some of y'all didn't get that on the last video. I'm showing you the highest power I can possibly hit to show you that I can use these smaller ships with the right crew and not have to use my Ops 56 ships to do grinding. Or with these crews, I've been able to actually use my 4-star ship in here. I'm using my Haicha, the level 50 ship. Before I leveled up these crews, I wouldn't have been able to use that ship in here. My lowest ship that I could use in these demonstrations was my Corvus. But now I'm able to go down a class of ship with the same results and grind efficiently in this system. So let me show you what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm going to use my Haicha. And my meta crew is Data, Janeway, and the Doctor. And below I'm using Grush, Tendi, Mariner, Himmer, E-Troy, Brianna, and Hugh. Even though they got new officers in E. Picard and E. Riker, they don't do as well as this other crew, and I'll use them first and show you. Okay, there's a 60 right in front of me. I'm going to pop it. I was able to destroy it, but look at all the hull damage. I could not effectively grind in this system using my Haicha. But let me make a change here, and I'll show you the difference. Let me recall. Repair. And that's the beauty. I've saved a lot in repair by using this lower ship. Okay. Now let's change the crew. Let's go back to group. Janeway. Let's find the old Doctor. There he is. Whoops. That was weird. Why did it do that? Go back to group. Janeway and the Doctor. Okay, you saw the damage that one, a 60 took. Now watch this. Again, I'm using no ISO, no support crew. Just straight up ship against the hostile. And you won't believe this. Barely any damage. Let's go back into the station and see just how much damage we had. "19 minutes. I'll pop all these ones in front of you and show you how much easy it does. There's a 59. It kills these with ease. So imagine how many 55, 56, and 57 transports in that system, in any of the faction systems you can pop with these. You can go all day. But my suspicion is once I get Riker up higher, I'll go back in there. I knocked all those ships out, and you'll see what little damage that did. An hour. Only 50 million in repair bill. That would cost me close to $1 billion in one of the 5-star ships. So you save a lot of resources by staying and using this Haicha or any of your level 50 ships. If you got the Enterprise B or you got the Romulan Tribune, you could probably use the same thing the way I'm doing. My Janeway, I just tiered her up to tier 3. My Doctor is tier 2, and I'm close to putting him to tier 3. Now I even make this crew even better when he gets tier 3. Most of the time, these officers don't seem to be that great until you get them to tier 3. And I think that is the reason why the E. Picard crew isn't that great, because Riker is only a tier 2. If I can ever get Picard or Picard to a tier 4 or Riker to a tier 3, this might be the meta crew after that, but I don't know. We'll have to see. But my Data, he's all tiered out. I was able to do that in that arc. See, my Troy's only tier 3. I would have had to spend $350 to tier her out, and I wasn't going to do that. I went ahead and spent $100 and get that one pack, but when I saw how little that was going to help overall, I mean, it got me to tier 3. That's where you want these officers. You want to try to get them to at least tier 3, and I got her there. This last event store, I was able to get my Picard to tier 3, and until they get the 60s plus 61 plus people out of my bracket, I have no chance to ever get really high on those leaderboards. I spent crazy on the second Riker because I've been saving up upgrades. So I upgraded my academy, my R&D, my shipyard. Went to Ops 59, and that was still not enough. And plus, I did a couple of upgrades on my ships, did about 15 researches, and that was only good enough for me to get 6th place with all these 61 plus in my bracket. And it's really not fair because they got access to the 6-star materials, and it scores so much higher than what the 5-star. Just like it wouldn't be fair for me to be in a bracket with 40-somethings, it's really not fair for the 60-somethings to be in the same bracket as the 50-somethings, because they got an access to materials and whatnot that we can't get to. So I was only able to get Riker up to tier 2. And the same with Picard. Picard, I only got, to tier 2 through the events, and I had to use the event store to get me over the top with Picard. I think that this will be the meta later on, but right now, until I can get Picard or Riker up higher, this Janeway crew with E-Data and the crew that I got below is really, really good. You can imagine how good it is when I do use one of my 5-star ships. When I get ready to go up into 6-star, I may be able to use my 5-star ships instead of having to use 6-star ships to do it. And that might be a big, big help. So, until next time.